Okay. And so, good day, my students. So, I would like to say thank you for watching this video of mine, though I am not yet starting, pero uh, sana ay maintindihan nyo at mag-grasp nyo yung content nitong ating first lesson sa Human Resource Management. So, this lesson is about the overview of Human Resource Management, and for the learning objectives, you are expected to understand the concepts of human resource management and its role in an organization, as well as describe the functions of human resource management, understand the concepts under human relation movement, and describe the different types of organization charts and structures. So this is just the overview and summary of human resource management as introductory of our subject HRM. Ayan, so before you understood the other specifics and other concepts under human resource management, you should first know what is the definition of human resource management. So according to the presentation, it is a process that involves the acquisition, development, maintenance, and utilization of valuable human resources necessary for organizational success. The objective of the HRM is to help make an organization more effective by means of integrating comprehensive human resource policies with overall organization plans and strategies, and implementing responsive human resource programs with a growing sensitivity to the economic and policy needs of the organization, as well as responsive to the changing technology. So it is defined very broad, no, in this slide, pero to understand better the human resource management, it is the process of hiring, selecting, and putting people into the job specification that a company or a industry needs for them to be able to meet their goals and objective. So, hindi naman tayo pumipili lang ng tao at nag-hire lang ng tao just to have someone na accountable dun sa actions or accountable dun sa work na kailangan matapos. But rather, dapat pumipili tayo ng mga tao na effective doon sa job specification, as well as nakasunod doon sa goals and policies ng isang company. Ayan, so the main purpose of human resource management is divided into 4. So there are acquisition, development, maintenance, and utilization. In the acquisition part, doon nakapailalim yung job analysis, recruitment, selection, and placement. And the objective of that purpose is to get the right person for the right job. So, kagaya nga nabanggit ko kanina, dapat meron tayong pipiliing tamang tao para gumampan dun sa trabaho na kailangang matapos. And doon sa part ng acquisition siya ginagawa. And then second purpose is development. And under development, doon nakapaloob yung training, performance appraisal, coping and changing with technology. And the main objective of this purpose is to get the most from the employees. So aside from selecting the people that can somehow do the job, dapat as companies, they should know how their employees will perform, through having trainings, through developing them, and through coping up with the changes in technology, para ma-maximize nila yung kanilang mga talents or yung kanilang mga employees. The next purpose is maintenance, and under maintenance, there are wage and salary, benefits and services, labor management relation, collective bargaining, disciplines, complaints, grievances. And the objective of this purpose is to retain the best workforce. Now, aside from putting the best people in the job, developing your talents, you should know also as company, how will you compensate your employees? How will you listen to their suggestions? How will you listen to their opinions, with regards to the workload, or even with regards to the dilemmas that they might face, if in case na nagtatrabaho na sila. And yung reason behind it was, syempre, kung napili mo na yung tamang tao, dapat alam mo kung paano pananatilihin na magstay yung mga tao na yun dun sa kumpanya. No? So, yun yung pangatlong purpose. And yung pang-apat is utilization, no, which is oftenly subjected to HR planning and career development. And the objective of it is to instill loyalty among employees. So, bukod sa alam natin na magstay sila kasi pinakikinggan natin sila, dapat alam din natin na magtatagal sila dun sa kumpanya. And dapat kasama sila dun sa part ng planning and also sa career development. And the overall objective of this purposes is to increase productivity. No? And a high effectivity or high productivity in company results to good things such as high in sales, high in productivity of employees may also lead to efficiency and effectivity of the people and also of the business processes. No? So, lahat ng mga nabanggit natin na purposes, ang pinaka-adhikain niya sa huli ay pataasin, no, yung involvement, pataasin yung sales, pataasin yung kagustuhan ng tao na gawin yung kanilang mga trabaho. So, yun yung main purpose of human resource management. So, with regards to the human relations movement, there are 3 things that you should consider. Na bago pa man din magkaroon ng konsepto ng human resource management, meron ng 3 no, na ginagamit noon pa at na found no, before na ways kung paano nga ba natin masasabi na ang mga tao ay engaged dun sa kanilang trabaho. No, so those are the threat of unionization, the Hawthorne studies by Elton Mayo, and the philosophy of industrial humanism. No, so iisa-isahin natin sila. The threat of unionization, a Wagner Act of 1935 legalized union management collective bargaining, promoting the growth of unions and union avoidance by firms. Early human relations thinking presented this possibility that satisfied employees would be less inclined to join labor unions. No, so, the idea of having different sectors and different circles inside the organization is a must, no, even before the human resource management course or subject has been developed. No? So, 1935 pa lang, na-legalize na yung idea na dapat merong mga sektor no, sa loob ng isang kumpanya. Like, for example, nahati sila sa divisions. Merong departments, merong middle level, top level, and low level. Yung idea na merong hihiwa-hiwalay sa kanila ay nai-act na or naisagawa na noon pa dahil yun yung magiging basis ng mga employees. How will they satisfy the company as a whole? Like for example, if you know yourself that you belong to the top level management, you should perform well and you should know how to act as a leader because you know to yourself that you belong to a top level management. Kung ikaw naman ay nasa middle level management, you should know to yourself that you know how to act up as the middle person between the employees below and also your bosses or the leaders. No, so yun naman yung difference the threat of unionization or the reason bakit nag-exist itong human relation movement na ito. Next is the Hawthorne studies by Elton Mayo. It reported that productivity was strongly affected by workers' attitude, turned management towards the humanistic and realistic viewpoint of the social man model. So if I am not mistaken, this Hawthorne study by Elton Mayo strongly believes that how management perceive their employees also reflects how employees act up inside the business. No? Like for example, kung belong yung mga empleyado sa hindi ganun kaganda na environment, like for example, wala kang computer na sarili or wala kang maayos na workplace or environment dun sa iyong trabaho, it may result to demotivated employee. Or kung may relationship ba yung ilaw na maliwanag doon sa loob ng kumpanya, nakakataas pa siya ng productivity. So, kung paano pinoportray nung kumpanya yung kanilang imahe dun sa mga empleyado ay nagre-resulta rin sa kung paano sila umakto dun sa kanilang trabaho. So, yun naman yung Hawthorne studies by Elton Mayo. And lastly is the philosophy of industrial humanism. In 1960s, social psychologist Douglas MacGregor developed the concept of Theory X and Theory Y that describe two contrasting sets of assumptions that managers make about their people. In Theory X, managers tend to take a pessimistic view of their people and assume that they are naturally unmotivated and dislike work. While Theory Y, managers have an optimistic, positive opinion of their people and they use a decentralized participative management style. So, dito naman sa philosophy of industrial humanism by Douglas MacGregor. So, sinasabi dito na meron daw konsepto ng Theory X and Theory Y na built noon pa. So, yung Theory X, it says that some management think that their people, their employees, is dissatisfied and don't like to work. So, they are thinking pessimistic. Ibig sabihin, negatibo nila iniisip, no, or negatibo nila tinitingnan kung paano magtrabaho yung kanilang mga employees, which is also happening, no, sa industry ngayon na meron talaga tayong mga managers, meron tayong mga boss na ang tingin sa ating mga tao ay maliliit lang. Parang tamad mo, ganyan. Parang hindi enough yung tinatrabaho mo kahit na you did your best. No? So, meron na daw palang assumption na ganun dati pa. And doon naman sa Theory Y, managers have an optimistic and positive opinion of their people. So, ibig sabihin, they are thinking about their employees na they are doing their best, they are doing their jobs, and positive thinkers sila as managers. Like for example, they always wanted to give appraisal to their people. Parang kahit small things lang yung nagagawa ng kanilang mga employee ay binabati nila at kinocongratulate nila. So, even now, there are some industries who have this kind of mindset na may Theory X and Theory Y. And somehow, ito ay nagre-reflect because of how the managers and how the management perceive their people. Now, we can say that a certain company possesses Theory X kung negative thinker yung inyong mga boss. And on the other hand, kung alam nyo naman na okay yung environment, you get appraisal, you get complimented, and then you will assume that they are possessing Theory Y mindset, or optimistic sila, or positive opinion yung kaya nilang ibigay sa mga employees. So, this three human relations movement is still reflected on the industry nowadays. Meron pa rin tayong unions, no? Meron pa rin naman tayong Hawthorne study, na sinasabi natin kanina na kung paano pinapakita ng kumpanya yung imahe nila sa mga empleyado, ay ganun din sila nag-act up. At meron din naman tayong gantong thinking na Theory X and Theory Y, na meron talagang managers or may mga leaders inside the company na negative thinker and some are positive thinker. So, yun yung difference nilang tatlo. Ayan, so, next is about the Human Resource Department's organization charts and structures. So, these 4 charts or 4 structures has been utilized since then. So, nagagamit siya mula pa noon hanggang ngayon. And iba-iba naman yung pamamaraan ng isang kumpanya kung paano nila pinapamahalaan, no, yung kanilang mga nasasakupan. So, those are centralization, decentralization, organization chart, and line and staff position. When we talk about centralization, the strategy allocates the design and administration responsibility of the human resource in a single organization unit. Human resource generalists handle all human resource activities rather than specializing in a single area such as compensation or recruiting. So, when we talk about centralization, it somehow tells us na may isang tao na gagampan nung lahat ng trabaho. imbis na sana na hatiin natin siya sa madami para makapag-focus lang sila sa isang workload, but still, if the company uses centralization, they just locates or they just give the job specification to a one specific person. Like for example, when you became an HR manager in the future, so if your company or the company where you belong uses centralization, ikaw as HR manager ay magfa-function as payroll, magfa-function as interviewer, magfa-function as recruiter, magfa-function as payroll processor, no? Marami kang ipoprocess dahil yun yung klase ng administration na somehow pina-practice doon sa iyong industry. No, so, some companies still use centralization, but I wouldn't agree na ito yung pinaka-effective na way. Kasi, as a person who have limitations and who have enough energy to do things, no? Hindi naman tayo robot para hindi mapagod. So, it's very hard for us to function in many persona. It's hard for us to though it is required for you to be adaptive if you became an employee, it's never that easy, no, to perform tasks na sobrang dami. So, yun yung centralization. Next is decentralization. It gives each unit the responsibility to design and administer its own personal system. So, kabaliktaran naman siya nung centralization because yung decentralization na idea ay hinahati natin, no, sa bawat tao yung iba't ibang trabaho na pwedeng gawin. Like for example, that I gave earlier, when you became an HR manager in a centralized company, you will function more or less 2 to 3 tasks and hindi siya madali. Pero kung decentralization yung gamit, you will function as one. Kung ikaw ay nasa recruitment, sa recruitment ka lang. Kung ikaw naman ay nasa payroll, nasa payroll ka lang. Kung ikaw ay nasa selection, sa selection ka lang. So, yun yung main focus mo. And this is much more effective nowadays because we became more sensitive about our mental health and physical health. If tayong mga Gen Zs ay nakakaramdam na parang ginagamit tayo ng husto, mas nawawalan tayo ng gana magtrabaho. Pero kung alam mo na you are just given a task na under ng job specification mo or ng scope of work mo, well, you will perform well. Yun naman yung sa decentralization. Next is the idea of organizational chart. So, it is a visual display of an organization's position and lines up of authority that is useful as a blueprint for deploying human resources. These charts help every person in the firm understand their job, immediate supervisors, responsibilities, and accountability. So, I hope you know what does an organizational chart possesses and what does organizational chart portrays. So, somehow includes the people or the person who is in task, no, to do that specific job, and then nakalagay kung ano yung kanilang job specification, no, kung nakalagay sa organizational chart yung pagkakasunod-sunod, yung precise selection, yung precise line up ng mga tao na nasa loob ng kumpanya. No, syempre sa top level may CEO, under him pwedeng may COO, pwedeng merong vice president, etc. So, yun yung itsura ng isang organizational chart. And sa easiest way, no, kung paano natin i-visualize yung organizational chart, ganito yung itsura niya. Parang may tao, tapos sino yung mga under niya. Tapos yung mga under niya, may under pa ba yun? Ganon. Para mas malaman, no, ng company kung ano yung mga tasks, specific tasks na dapat gawin ng bawat employees kasi they are visualized and presented through chart. Mas madali nilang mas-specify kung ano yung kanilang mga workloads. And Lastly is the line and staff position. The line managers make decision and staff personnel provide advice and support. No, so it is in the process of input, process, output, feedback, and control. No, so sa line and staff positions naman, so aside from what is stated in the organizational chart, as employees, you should know who you will call, who you will ask if in case na merong dilemma na dumating. Kasi, like for example, you belong to low-level management, bagong associate ka lang, you're just new to your job, hindi ka pa ganun what do you call this, parang hindi ka pa ganun ka-engage, hindi ka pa ganun ka-familiar dun sa mga ginagawa and dun sa culture ng kumpanya. So, it's very hard for you to cope up. It's very hard for you to understand kung bago ka pa lang. So, as employee, or as part of the low-level management, you should know who you will ask, who you will call, who you will tap if in case na you need help. So, yun yung reason kung bakit merong line and staff positions. So, ayun, that sums up the whole overview for human resource management. So, those are just the basic concepts that you should understand, or for you to better understand the totality of the human resource management. Ganun yung konsepto, na hindi lang tayo nag-a-acquire ng tao, hindi lang tayo nag-hire ng tao, but rather kailangan din natin silang i-develop. Paano nga ba nagkakaroon ng union, paano nagkakaroon ng hati sa loob ng kumpanya, ganun. So, i-discuss ko muna sa inyo yung basic concepts about human resource management. So, again, for the learning objectives that we had, I explained the concept of HRM and its role in organization, the functions of human resource management, the concepts under human relation movement, which is the 3, and then describe the different types of organizational charts and structure. Ayan, so that sums up the whole overview for human resource management. And if you do have questions, no, don't hesitate to ask me or message me in our class GC, and I will happily entertain your questions. Ayan, so thank you for listening to my recorded class, and I do hope na you all had fun and learned something from me. Ayan, thank you.